Are you constantly sleepy only to get into bed and you can't sleep? Do you wake up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed? We can help you to try to stay awake. Just try to stay awake. Hi, I'm Heather Abbott. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach and your sleep buddy for this masterclass. Our professor tonight is Dr. Gary Lindner, a former faculty member at UC Davis and current adjunct professor at Chico State University. Dr. Lindner earned his doctorate degree in physiology at Clemson University. Dr. Gary, tell us how we can lose the snooze button.
Very cute, Heather. And thank you. And thank you all for joining us this evening. So this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. And it's one that I think many of us kind of ignore. We're going to talk about sleep matters. But first of all, let's start with a little bit of an introduction. And I always like to talk about nurturing our nature. And why is that important? Well, we've got pretty amazing bodies, but we need to provide our bodies with certain things so that it can maintain balance, stay in homeostasis. There's 50 trillion cells in our body. We replace like 6 billion a day, and we need certain things to be able to do that. So what we're talking about here to nurture our nature are 5 vital elements. The first is air. We breathe about 20,000 breaths a day. We need to stay hydrated with clean, healthy water. And we need food to fuel our bodies, nutritious food. And we need the natural energies of the sun, the earth, and the kinetic energy of the earth, the wind, basically. And we need a good night's sleep, a healthy, uninterrupted, soundful, restful, deep sleep to reset our bodies. So we'll move right on with sleep matters. Now, sleep's very important. And a sleep deficiency, really the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention calls insufficient sleep a public health epidemic. And this is a global problem. World Health Organization says it's a global epidemic of sleeplessness. A study done by the National Sleep Foundation looked at number of hours people slept per work night during the week in different countries. And any of these are really less than the 8 hours that we need each night. And poor sleep can cause fatigue, heart disease, weight gain, diabetes, anxiety, stroke, kidney disease, or cancer. I also want to point out it's interesting that this study is looking at number of hours slept per work night. And what that really is indicative of is really a fallacy, not a true statement that people think that they can, forego sleep during the week, get those work projects done, that term paper or something else, and sleep less during the work night or during the week, and then catch up on the weekend. And you can't do that. Our requirement is based on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour cycle. So we need at least a good 7.5 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. And lack of sleep prevents our brain from making new memories. One poor night's sleep can decrease our immune efficiency 60 to 70%. And think about that for a minute, because if you're really kind of burning the candle at both ends, and you go for a couple nights without getting a good night's sleep, what usually happens? That's when that flu or that cold or whatever kind of hits you. And that's because we've really decreased our immune efficiency. Lack of sleep, like I said, has been linked to cancer. And it's also detrimental to cardiovascular health. So I recommend this book. I highly recommend it. It's by Matthew Walker, a neurophysiologist at University of California, Berkeley. He also has some great little YouTube videos. If you just search him online, he's got some TED Talks, and he really kind of defines sleep and why we need it very elegantly. And of course, this is his field of study and his field of research. So here's what he says, and this is a quote from Matthew Walker. He says, "I used to suggest that sleep is the third pillar of good health, along with diet and exercise, but I don't agree with that anymore. sleep is the single most effective thing you can do to reset your body, your brain and body for health. He actually calls wakefulness as low-level brain damage. And in some of the studies and in this book, he points out what's our kind of a reboot rate. And he says, after about 16 hours of wakefulness, our faculties are diminished. We don't perform tasks near as well. We have a hard time remembering things. And so he kind of says, what's the recycle rate of humans as far as sleep? And he thinks it's about 16 hours of wakefulness, which of course leaves over 8 hours for a good restful sleep. So here's a quote by William C. DeMint. And William C. DeMint is the father of sleep medicine. And what he says is very profound and very powerful. Healthy sleep has been empirically proven to be the single most important determinant in predicting longevity, more important than diet, exercise, or heredity. Again, that's a very powerful statement. And I also would like to read into this a little bit. We've been taught for decades that the way to good health involves pretty much two modalities, and that's diet and exercise, which they're very important. But as Dr. DeMint says here, that healthy sleep is even more important. So what's the problem here? Why do they not get a good night's sleep? And one of those is what I've alluded to already, is our mindset about sleep. We don't give it the importance that it deserves, really, and we forego sleep to do other things. And many times we kind of do that like wearing a badge of courage or something, thinking that we're really doing something great because we got that project done, but we didn't sleep for a few nights. I'll relate a story with a friend of mine, Carl, and Carl's, very buff guy, very physically fit. We were having a chat, and he told me, he says, Gary, I sleep 4.5, 5 hours a night. And I said, Carl, why would you do that? He says, because I like to get up early in the morning so I can spend 2.5 hours in the gym. So actually what he's telling me there is his choice is that exercise to him seems more important than sleep. My suggestion was to him was that's not a good choice, Carl. And really, you may feel fine now, your body may be doing okay, but this is something over a period of time could cause some very serious health risks for you. So, I highly suggest maybe exercise less and get some more sleep in lieu of that. So I'm going to go through this. It looks a little confusing, but bear with me. These are the 5 stages of the sleep cycle. And we go from stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need to replicate that pattern 5 times during the evening while we're sleeping. And each one of those replications take about 90 minutes. So if you look at that, that works out to get the required sleep we want. That takes about 7.5 hours of sleep. Now, the other thing about this is that if we wake up at night while we're moving from, say, stage 2 to stage 3, we don't go back to stage 4, or we don't move to stage 4. We go back to stage 1. And this is the part that really interrupts this cycle, or why we don't feel rested after sleeping. And there's many things that can cause that. Discomfort can cause that. Turning your brain off at night so you can actually fall asleep in a relatively short period of time. Temperature fluctuations, either being too hot or too cold, and then trying to alleviate that by moving the covers. You feel too heavy in one spot, and so then what do? We toss and turn. And breathing issues can interrupt our sleep as well. And we sleep better with our head a little cooler than the rest of our body. And the evidence of that is, I'm sure we've all experienced waking up at night and moving the pillow to a cool spot. And we almost do this unconsciously. But again, any one of these things, and there are others too, can wake us up and interrupt this sleep cycle. So really, we can actually do some things about this so that they aren't causative agents to not wake us up as we go through these cycles. So how about a good quality night's sleep, one that's sound, deep, restful, rejuvenating, one that, maybe you remember when you were a kid. You went to bed, you fell asleep, you popped out of bed in the morning, and many of us haven't had that kind of quality sleep in a long time. This has been something that's been very important for thousands of years. In fact, Sophocles pointed out and said sleep is the only medicine that gives ease. And if this is the case, it stands to reason that a lack of sleep or poor quality sleep gives dis-ease. So a solution for this is the Kenko Nature Rest Fit sleep system. Now, what we've done is use natural technologies here to take care of some of these problems. So I'm going to go through some of these technologies, and then I'll describe how this helps to give us a better night's sleep. So we have the Earth's natural energy there. That's one of the natural energies that we need that are vital. Magnetic technology replicates this. We have orthopedic support for all body types, massage nodules to keep you massaged so you don't feel too heavy in one spot. We have reflective temperature regulation to keep us in even temperature. We have tourmaline in there, which is a crystal that actually, when it has some compression, it actually releases negative ions to help relax us. The system's made from environmentally responsible and environmentally safe materials. And the other thing is, this is a system that is actually designed and engineered around the physiology of sleep to promote quality sleep. So if we look at these things that wake us up each night that I mentioned previously, here's how these technologies kind of help. We can't relax, okay? The magnetics and the natural energies help us relax so we can fall asleep quicker. It also can help with some discomfort that may be keeping us awake at night. We have the bioceramic temperature regulation materials in the system as well. It's in the comforter and in the Nature Rest Fit and in our pillowcase to help with these temperature fluctuations so we maintain an even temperature. We're not too hot or too cold. We aren't throwing covers on, throwing covers off, sticking a leg out underneath the covers. And again, these are all things that interrupt our sleep, that resets that 5 cycles of sleep. So again, we feel too heavy in one spot. We have a passive massage nodules on the Kenko Fit to help keep us comfortable, so we aren't tossing and turning so much. One of the things when I ask people when they're first using the Kenko Fit is to monitor how much they toss and turn. And even if an individual may not be aware of that, their partner definitely is. And usually we'll see a reduction in that tossing and turning of somewhere to 50 to 60%. Breathing issues, we have a pillow that you can adjust and you can customize, to open up the air passages. And it's been helpful for many other people. And with the pillow and the pillowcase, it keeps our head cool, so we sleep deeper. So this is a great example of using science and technology to create a very, very good and effective sleep system. We have some other sleep products. We have the Kenko Sleep Mask. This is great. It's great for traveling. It's also great for any areas of discomfort. You may just put it on a shoulder, let's say, if that's bothering you. It also blocks out the light. It features our EQL magnetic and again, our bioceramic reflective technologies as well. I mentioned the pillowcase, but we also have a portable sleep system we call the Kenko Therm Cocoon, which is pretty much a sleeping bag, which also has these technologies in them as well. I have many clients that get these for their children that may be having trouble sleeping through the night as well. Heather and I have a pair of these that we take with us when we're camping or when we're on the road. So we kind of have a portable sleep system to take with us as well. So 7 steps to a better night's sleep. 1, schedule sleep, just like you would schedule any other important activity during your day. And I really mean this. And stick to that schedule. It's very important for your health. Pay attention to what you eat and drink, and especially before bedtime. Avoid caffeine. They say at least 6 hours before you're going to go to bed. Create a bedtime ritual, which kind of psychologically prepares you to wind down and fall asleep quicker and get a better night's sleep. Limit daytime naps. You can include physical activity in your daily routine to improve your sleep, and manage stress. Do this either through some breathing exercises or meditation, or listening to, many times Heather likes to listen to the sound of the waves, or a rainstorm, or something like that to help calm herself down. Get a good environment, a comfortable environment with low lights, cool temperatures. And it's also recommended get a high quality sleep system. And that's exactly what we have here with the Kinko Nature is Fit. It will fit a twin bed, a queen bed, and a full bed, and a king bed. It's kind of like a mattress topper that snugly fits on the mattress, so it's very lightweight. But again, it incorporates all these natural technologies to help give us a better night's sleep and alleviate some of those problems that interrupt our sleep cycle. So this is a great example of what Nikan does very well, which is biomimicry, is where we use science and technology to replicate nature. And we do this to create a healthier environment for you and your family. It's called the Nikan Wellness Home. So it is like a greenhouse for humans. So what does a greenhouse do? A greenhouse actually provides the right environment to where plants can thrive. They don't just exist, they thrive. It provides them with the right elements that plants require, just like elements that we require to be as healthy as they possibly can. So we address healthy air, healthy water, quality sleep, whole food nutrition, and those healthy natural energies. And again, within the Wellness Home, we have different packs to help provide this. We also haven't talked about air. We have the Kinko Air Purifier, and we have Sakura Nutrition products there as well to give you your protein, give you your vegetables, and give you the required amounts of fruits that we need each day. And then we also have an energy pack, which is great for certain conditions to relieve some discomfort, to give you more balance, give you more energy, give you more strength. And so ask the person that invited you to tonight's class to explain a little bit more about that. Now, I also want to point out that we have other recorded presentations of the master class available on our YouTube channel or at theselfcarehub.com, which for each of these vital areas that we're talking about. So we really want to nurture our nature. We want to provide our bodies with the tools it requires to keep itself healthy, to stay in balance, to maintain balance for homeostasis. So we invite you to be part of our global wellness community. And for more information, please contact the person who invited you to this presentation. And I thank you for your attention, and